Hi, my name is Beth Hiley here for Board Game Geek at FIJ 2020. I'm sitting down with Guy Roger and Nicholas. You guys are from 4Universe, and you've brought us Malhya, which is Lands of Legend. So big box, lots in here to show. So you guys have brought just a little sampling to give people an idea, but take it away. What are we trying to do in Malhya?
So there are several ways to describe the game. I guess that one of them would be that's a board game that might be the closest from a role-playing game. So the idea is to have the players live an adventure where the choice is going to matter. And for that, all the gameplay is going to be a way to fulfill this adventure. So there are several mechanics for that, but they're all linked together in a very fluid way. So it's a cooperative game, and it mixes some land crawler, so for instance with views like this, some dungeon crawlers. But what you're going to do in a dungeon crawler, for instance, is going to depend on what you live in at that time. In some cases, it could be a battle. In some other cases, it could be an infiltration. In some other cases, it could be a riddle. And for the riddle, what's going to happen is that you're going to make choices depending, you're going to have a description about what's happening in that room, and there will be some options, and depending on your choices, you will go there, make some...
So we'll give a brief view of this. Sure. We don't want anyone to read it too much because we don't want to spoil any surprises.
It's in French.
But, that too, but I'm sure there's some French watchers on this eventually.
Yeah, okay.
The design is not definitive.
Yes. So this is still,
it's in process.
Prototype. Well, and everything in front of us is still on a prototype level. So, this will be prettier in the final edition.
Definitely. And of course it will be in several languages, and of course in English. So that will be kind of a first description of it. There's also some crafting involved. So basically you're going to find everything that you can find in a role-playing game, except you don't have any game master. It's totally free.
The game itself is your GM.
Exactly.
You have some mechanics, but it's not very hard to go in the narrative way of playing. So with these books, you can make everything with a little few mechanics. Just.
And you're going to the transition between one kind of gameplay to another is always very fluid. So for instance, you're going to travel, stuff is going to happen to you during your travel. As soon as you arrive in a place that is going to be a dungeon, naturally you're going to switch on the dungeon.
Right,
exactly.
sort of your zoom in.
Exactly, that's how it happens. And again, the fun thing is that you're not going to do, that several times you're going to do a little bit of the same thing on some games. Okay, we're going, whatever the situation, you have enemies in front of you and you're going to, here it's totally different. In some cases you're going to talk with them, in some cases you're going to infiltrate and go around them, or you're going to fight them, and depending on what you choose, there are consequences about what happened after.
Yeah, now, and all of this, sort of with the game being the Dungeon Master, all this is being done through low-tech components, right? There's no integration with like an app or anything. So you're going to get the information through cards, through the book.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the components you have here as well. So you have a sample of some of the minis that are likely to be there, but it looks like the plan is also to have some double-layer player boards, which I'm always thrilled to see. But you guys also have some examples here of just what. Now I'm guessing this is another one of the heroes.
Yeah, exactly. One of the people that you can play. So basically, it's medieval fantasy world, of course, and you have several people, and you can choose one of these people. Some are humans, some are not, and you're going to play one of them with several characteristics. Some are going to be very strong in battles, in strength trials, but when it comes to intelligence and stuff like this, they will be weaker, or the other way around. So basically, depending on which kind of characters you're going to play and the choices you're going to make, the adventure is going to be totally different.
Now, like a role-playing game, would you recommend that you want the same group of people to be continuing this story over time, or is this something where people can hop in and a new player could be like, hey, you guys have played a couple games, can I join you?
Yes, it's totally possible. So you create your pass, and in the game you play the awakened ones. It's heroes which are activated when the balance of the planet is straightened. So you have 100 awakened ones in the upper lands of Malhya. So someone can jump in
anytime
and jump out. the mechanics of the game can support.
Can sustain this without any problem.
Yes, no problem.
The characters, of course, are going to evolve. So from one adventure to other, they're going to get new skills, new equipment, and stuff like this. But that's going to be included in the evolution of all of them. Yeah.
Now we've been your booth neighbors here at this show, and I have to say it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, right across there.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun because we've been hearing some moments where people are like, ah! There's a lot of fun going on over at your booth over the last couple of days. Pause. Let's go.
Oh
she's
yeah.
done.
Okay.
You have lots of replayability.
Yeah.
Very important because you create your pass. Every choice can condition the rest of the adventure.
Yeah.
And
so if you play it again and you make a different choice, what happens after changes and stuff.
Different,
So
yeah.
for instance, you go into a dungeon and the first time you go there, there's going to be like some people, I don't know, waiting, like guarding. But let's say that in the previous adventure, you made a decision that's going to make, oh, there's no guard there, you're right there, and it's totally desert. So everything is going to evolve depending on the choices. So you can play it several times and it's going to be very different.
And let's talk a little bit about artwork. So did you guys have one artist who was able to do all the illustrations for this?
yes, we are
Really good one.
a very young society company, and we have the chance to have Cyril Terpent, which who is a genius, and make all the designs, all the illustrations, and you can see.
Yeah,
the quality.
that's why I asked.
Yeah, exactly.
Quality.
Really good, and there's a lot of it in the game, so you
Yeah.
can actually enjoy it. And for the immersion,
I was gonna say these are even just the backs of the cards.
just the backs of front. They're beautiful. So, and you have this also, like for the characters, for the different situation where you are, and at the same time, a lot of attention was brought to the ergonomy. Is it a good word?
Yes.
Ergonomy. So to make sure that at the same time, okay, it's going to be beautiful, but you're going to understand very easily, okay, what you can do when you go to a certain place. For instance, okay, that's just an example. Here, it's a dungeon, a tile. So at the same time, I think it's well drawn, but when there is like a red. How do you call it?
Barrier maybe.
Yeah, exactly. That means that when you go behind, you won't be seen by someone going there. So for all the infiltration part, that's going to be something that's going to use. So at the same time, it's going to be beautiful, but also very useful when you play.
Functional,
Exactly. So you're not, wondering, okay, what can I do? What can't I do? Do I need to look in the? No, the idea is that you just play it, and it's fluid.
Now let's talk a little bit about when this is going to be available for both either in French or if you have plans for other languages.
Yeah.
Alors, French because we are French. In English for sure. We try to do some other languages. It will depend of the campaign because we go through Kickstarter.
Right.
In few months. We cannot give a specific date because for the moment we have some problem with fabrication.
The logistic, making sure who to work with, how to bring it in time and so on.
We hope in few months, but we know that we will launch the campaign when we will be ready.
So the idea is to avoid as much as possible, surprises that happen in some campaigns.
Yeah,
We'd like to avoid that.
I hope people appreciate that not giving a specific date is actually not a bad thing. To wait
because
until you're ready.
When there is a
do
date,
it right.
that means we know exactly who's going to bring this element, the figures, everything, the book. So like this, there would be as less surprises as possible.
And I want to mention too that if you're looking up Malhya or if you're looking up the company name, it is spelled with the number 4 at the beginning, just so if people want to Google it on PGG or on Kickstarter to start, it's 4 Universe with the number 4, just so I was reading that across your sign across the way as well. So
and without an E at the end. It's
That's
like
true, yes.
Universe in French and Universe in French, there's no E at the end.
Right. It's a little
Because we're cheap. No.
who needs an E?
Yeah, exactly. Who needs
For
an E?
once, you left letters off at the end of the word.
But we like playing, so sometimes we're going to add some, sometimes we're putting it away. Depends on the mood. Just depends on the mood.
Well, Guy and Nicholas, thank you so much for
Thank you.
allowing us to take a quick tour. I know we don't want to share too much because there is a story there. We don't want to spoil it. But if you guys are interested in checking that out, there's Malhya, which is coming out later this year. TBD on when exactly that will be, but via Kickstarter. And thank you both.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much.
very much.